Everything about you is perfect to this person. They don't want you to change a thing. This energy of my entire being and body is attracted to you speaks of somebody that is falling in love with you very quickly. This person may be at this point in time doing a lot of soul searching. They are listening to their intuition. They are addressing fears head on and stilling the urge to hold back from you in this situation or to rush forth too quickly. This is somebody that is very aware of certain triggers or raw nerve endings they have inside of themselves as far as love and partnership is concerned. And there's a sense that they are trying to sort of tend to some of those wounds, look some of those reoccurring patterns in the eye and name them directly so that they don't accidentally kind of surface and trip the two of you up further along in your journey with one another. This is somebody that places a lot of importance on getting the next steps between the two of you right. And it feels like the rightness of that energy is not something that is calculated and logical, but it's right because it is the opening of the floodgates of their heart and allowing themselves to be carried forth in whatever way feels most bold, most organic, most conducive to kind of the best possible outcomes in a way that might be so free that it is the complete opposite of how they typically move as far as love and partnership is concerned. This is somebody, it feels like, who has never really experienced a balanced partnership before. They have always been the one to do the heavy lifting, to still their emotions, to contain themselves, to kind of chew back their own needs in the interest of being that support system for another person, or to be able to kind of fit into a certain role or an archetype of what they have come to believe through their upbringing or through society, is kind of like the way that a man should show up in partnership, or a boyfriend, or a husband, or a provider, or a protector, a partner, like whatever that looks like. There's been a certain kind of like typecast role that this person has adhered to for quite some time, but it feels like in this situation, there's an urge to kind of honor the best of those things that feel very aligned with kind of like who this person really is as a person. But then there are also certain parts of those narratives that never felt right in previous romantic connections and led to a sense of discontent, a lot of tension within situations, an undercurrent of resentment that might have built steadily because this person was sort of like holding very still for others and having nobody to kind of reach for them and be with them in kind of the stillness of their own feeling space. And so they feel very empowered and very comfortable through the experience of you because maybe you are somebody who radiates authenticity, or you're on a journey to kind of rebrand or redefine yourself in some sort of way. And so it is encouraging this person to kind of take a moment to lean deeply within themselves and say, okay, these are the things that I am most comfortable with or that align or feel right for me in terms of how I have traditionally sort of been moving forth in love and partnership. But then this is something that I have always kind of felt I wanted to bring to the table, or that, felt like it aligned more with kind of my vision or my ideal of how I would be showing up in partnership, or the energy that I would put forth in order to receive kind of a complementary experience with another. I've never had that opportunity before, or efforts in that sense were, rejected or rebuffed by others, by exes, by previous people. And so there's a sense here where this person feels very empowered to sort of let a new face of themselves be seen in the situation with you. And so there's a mindfulness with that as far as like letting that come forth in a way that honors maybe sort of their fear of change at this moment in time, but at the same point is kind of encouraging that blossoming and that expansion beyond the limits of like who they've been as a person, or who they've been within romantic partnerships before. We also have, you are a diamond of immense strength and beauty. So this person is learning from you as far as ways in which you are wearing your vulnerability as strength, your open emotional nature, either the ways in which you are able to self-soothe and that it just kind of comes forth in the vibe that you put out, or how you move through the world, that you know how to kind of like tend to yourself. You don't need other people to sort of like solve your emotional problems for you. You don't need to consult 10 different people to make a decision forward for yourself. You're able to kind of in a very emotionally mature way sort of, explore every angle of what it is that you're feeling. You don't tend to run from both the difficult things as well as the pleasant things. Like they're seeing that there's a lot of balance within you. Maybe you've expressed yourself very openly or very honestly with them. This might have even been something where you set boundaries as a form of, honoring your own kind of vulnerabilities within, and sort of like, if there were circumstances between the two of you where there might have you might have felt that kind of the softness within, that you have come to this point in your journey as prioritizing as a thing worth protecting. If that were something where the pace or the experience with this person sort of felt to encroach upon that somewhat, you might have put up a boundary with them. And there's a lot of respect that they have for that. They don't hold resentments for you not making this easy on them. They love the fact that there is a challenge here. This is kind of the thrill of the hunt at this particular point in time for this person, not through brute force, and kind of exerting themselves in a very sharp way. Do they access this next sort of phase with you? But this is something where you are almost kind of inviting or coaxing sort of a private communion with themselves, in order to honor kind of those fears and that softness within, and to hold that in kind of an equal manner to the ways in which they sort of hold their light attributes, or the things that they know are like emotional strengths, to hold those things in an equal way, and then to approach you in order to be able to kind of touch upon one another in a way that is both kind of acknowledging sort of where you're at in terms of your openness and willingness to kind of like share with one another, or hold space for one another's silence, and also sort of anticipates where this person wants to move towards and evolve towards beyond you, in terms of being able to feel very free to express yourselves, both on the good days and the difficult days, so that there is a more honest relationship that is possible between you than has been the case in previous partnerships. And just in kind of the ways in which you've been showing up so far in this, or for yourself, you've modeled that very excellently for them, like a template of what that can look like. So this person is trying to kind of like match your energy at this point, not in the sense of like, okay, a boundary's been put up, so I'm just going to sit here in silence and we're going to have a standoff and see who reaches out to who first. But there's almost like, okay, if you've had to sort of taken a step back, or you've chosen a period of stillness, there's a sense within this person that they're kind of like, okay, maybe this is an invitation within me, where I need to kind of look within. I need to reflect on something that might be kind of like needing to be heard within myself before I pour forth into this experience more abundantly moving forward. We also have, thank you for your beautiful light and energy in my life. So you are somebody who is drawing them out of their shell. You're drawing them beyond their comfort zone. You have reached this person deep within the heart space, deep within the soul, in a way that it feels like most do not access, certainly not at this point in time in a connection. This is somebody who is sitting within the reality of like, I am falling in love with you, not just for who you are as a person, but for the ways in which my soul recognizes pieces of itself within you, or aspects within me that seem to fit so nicely, so beautifully, so interestingly, in such new ways with what I have discovered within you, or what you have shared about yourself with me, either directly or just what translates through your energy, through your vibe, through your sense of presence, that this person almost feels that you are showcasing for them a new way in order to stand in the experience of wholeness within oneself, and from that place of wholeness to be able to connect with with one another in a steady way that allows each person to sort of magnetize in that corresponding frequency from deep within the core of themselves in order to press forth in an outward way, in an experience that sort of breeds a balanced love in the here and now, as opposed to things that were very lopsided or one-sided, which is all that was modeled to them before, or all that they were really kind of encouraged or inspired to sort of show up as in previous connections. We also have my love for you is without bound. So this person does not want to continue to hold their feelings back. This is somebody that feels very empowered to tell you how they feel, very empowered to have those discussions about what comes next in this circumstance. This is somebody that wants to declare their love for you openly. They want to look in your eyes and tell you how they feel. They want to make it known to others how it is that they feel about you, or that you are somebody who is now a part of their life, that you are somebody that is important to them. This is somebody that it feels like is trying to open a door to future potentials between the two of you. So they may be planning experiences for the two of you that are beyond just this moment in time. So that, you know, as you are evolving beyond the place where you're both at with one another at this point, as well as within yourselves, that there's almost kind of like, you know, a bridge that has been created, that you're not just kind of leaping off into the unknown and like, we'll figure it out as it comes, but that there's something where this person almost wants to kind of like gently guide you in the ways that you have been guiding them to a new way to just sort of hold energetic space for oneself and therefore show up in an experience with another person. This is something where this individual wants to you know, kind of showcase to you somebody that is thoughtful enough about the importance of sort of the long-term potential, or really feeding into that experience of wanting something more, and not just wanting it, but taking actual steps in that direction by kind of like laying something out for the two of you where the path forward is clear. So this may be somebody that is, you know, clearing up obstacles in their life. They may be freeing up time for themselves as far as like work that they have to do. They may be working on things as far as finances are concerned, you know, working on things as far as their health is concerned, their emotional well-being is concerned, other sort of like constraints they have in their life, or, you know, even kind of like starting to bring in and introduce new potentials into their reality, so that there are things that you can do together, ways in which you can connect together that might have just previously been sort of solitary experiences, or, you know, where they had just filled it with like an emptiness of space and time. This is somebody who is excited to kind of like go out and do things with you, go out on dates, hang out, get to know one another, spend quality time with each other. This is somebody that wants to have more communication with you, deeper communication, but also more frequency of communication. This is somebody that wants to participate with you in building beyond this present moment, so that you have reassurances, not just in terms of like empty words and promises like, hey, I'm showing up, or you know, we're having this kind of like surface level exchange, but something that where they are showing up in sort of a more deep, meaningful, or consistent way that helps to provide you with reassurances like, I'm here, I'm opening up my heart to you, I'm not flinching at this, and I'm not going anywhere. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.